Hello and welcome! This character profile video is for the class Igneous, and what you'll see is all of his skills, the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, his skill combos, enhancements, player card, and a gameplay video. So, without further ado, I am pleased to present to you Igneous. Here we go. And welcome to the skills slide. If you are new to my character profile videos, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left hand side is all of his skills. On the right hand side are all the specials that go with those skills. And then next to the skills column on the left is CD, that's the cooldown for each skill. And to the right of that is charges. That's how many times you can use each skill. And then the column next to that, hits, is how many times the skill will hit a creature or opponent in the game. And then the column damage-PVE is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against a creature in the world. And damage-PVP is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against another player's character. And of course you have the passive at the bottom. So first thing I wanted to tell you is looking over at the specials section, and you see that there are words that are colored in red, like super armor, invincibility, forward guard. Those things mean that they do not apply in arena. They'll apply and work everywhere else in the game, just not when you go into arena. And the purple colored words like Arnie and Marg, they apply to the passive. And I will get to what the passive is and what it does on the PvP slide. So take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next slide, which is the top 8 PvE skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome. So what I've done is I've taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVE, with the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest at the bottom. And Belied of Destruction is your highest damaging skill. So just a question here of what you're looking at is, why is there a green section on here? It's because we can only take 8 skills into the game world at a time. And these are the ones that I'm recommending if you're going by damage percentage. Now, when you get the hang of all these skills that are colored in green, I highly encourage you to try out the other ones like Fiery Tackle, Infernal Grasp, and especially the Controlled Chaos, because that is your heal. So if you're out there farming and you just need that extra heal to keep you alive and keep going, you should consider maybe replacing out Ride the Waves or Parting Waves with your Controlled Chaos. So take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready, we are going to move on to the top 8 PvP skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome. We have a lot to cover on this slide, so let's go ahead and knock out the basics. What I've done is I've taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVP, with the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest at the bottom. And Belied of Destruction continues to be your highest damaging skill. So what I'm going to do is read you what the passive is all about and its description, and then I'm going to load up a video showing you your passive in action and what you want to look for when you know it's working. So let's go ahead and read this. Your passive is called Savant Guard, and what they mean is consecutively use skills of different elements to activate. You got fire and water, so you start out with fire and then go to a water skill, then back to fire. This is what they mean. Now you can start it out the other way with water and then fire and then back to water. It's just so that you're doing one and then the other as you are battling a creature or a player's opponent. But when you do this, you activate PvP damage taken minus 15% for 15 seconds. And then the other effects for water and fire, which is called Arnie for water and Marg for fire. So let's go ahead and tell you what that's all about. For Arnie, the move speed of the creature or opponent that you're against is reduced by 0.3% per level for 10 seconds. And that gets all the way up to a maximum of minus 15% move speed. So it also can stack with other move speed effects, and I highly recommend memory imprints. There are memory imprints that also reduce move speed, so if you combine these two things together, I'm pretty confident you can get up to 20, maybe 25% reduction of move speed. And when it comes to the world of PvP, that really could catch your opponent off guard, so consider that. The other thing is PvP damage taken is 0.3% per skill level for 10 seconds to the person you are fighting, up to a maximum of 15% damage that they take extra in PvP. So this is what you are to expect when you are using water skills and your passive is active. Let's go on to the fire skills. What happens is your target burns for 20 damage per skill level every 2 seconds for 10 seconds at a maximum of 1000 damage that occurs. This is really good fire damage dot that applies. And the other half of that is for you, your skill damage is increased by 0.2% per level for 10 seconds, up to 10%. So you're giving them a damage over time, and you're getting an increase in your damage for 10 seconds. I think that's fair. So now that you have heard how these passives work, let's go ahead and queue up a video and show you what it looks like. Here we go. Okay, so I have 3 water skills and 2 fire skills. You want to look in the center above your health for the icons that will appear, and when you tap on the 3 dots, they will appear here. You're looking for a red and a blue icon, and we're going to mess with the guys behind us and go into the other room. So let me see if I can trigger the icons. Oh, there they are. These are the 2 that you're looking for. And right now I can only show you the defense and the damage add that you get. Slowing of speed and everything else I can't really show you, but at least you know that your passive is working. So I want to just get you used to looking at where the icons are and what they look like. And let's go into the other room and see if we can't raise the level of the icon. And by the way, I do apologize for how I am moving and in this showing you of the passive. I updated my emulator on my PC, and it messed up my controls bad. So you'll work with what you got, right? So what we're doing here is I'm doing consecutive water and fire skills back to back, and the water buff that you get, the defense, it caps at 15% automatically, and this is great. I'm really happy that they give that to you, but the damage add does incrementally increase. So what I'm trying to show you is that you do need to keep at it so that you can see the percentage you're getting slowly increasing at the same time. And as long as you keep using it, it'll just keep going, so you'll be just fine. Let's see if I show it to you one more time before we head back. Yep, we go. Yeah. So let's go ahead and head back now. But you should have a good idea now of where you're looking and what you're looking for. So with that being said, we'll return now to the PvP slide and keep going with the video. Here we go. And welcome back. So now that you have a good understanding of what the passive does and how it looks like, there's just one more thing to cover, and that is, people always ask me, what super armor can I use that applies in arena and outside the arena, because trying to organize what I can and can't use is kind of a pain. So you have three, and that is Overdrive and Ride the Waves and Infernal Grasp. Now, just personal opinion, and that is Overdrive will give you super armor along with the damage that you may be looking for, but you know, it seems like Infernal Grasp is a lot more fun because that's your grab and you're grabbing them, slamming them to the ground, getting extra damage in, and activating your super armor all at the same time. And I don't know, that sounds like more fun to me, but it's up to you, and those are your three that you have to choose from, excuse me. So take a moment to look at everything, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next slide, which is the skill combo slide. Here we go. And welcome. So before we explain what you're looking at with the skill combos, let us tell you where you can find it. And that is during gameplay. If you bring up the menu, look all the way over to the right and tap on the square that is called skills, and now you're on the skills screen, and you look towards the middle and go down to where you see a magnifying glass with a circle around it, and it will say skill combos to the right of it. You tap on that, and now you bring up this small window called list of skill combos. So what I've done is I've taken the whole thing and I put it all on one screen for you to have. If you're playing on a PC, you can have it on another monitor, or maybe on your phone, and you can bring this up on a tablet, your choice. Or you could print it out, but I always say, be kind. If it's not your printer, this is a little heavy on the color. And maybe black and white would be best. So, now that you know where to find it, let's explain how it works. On the left-hand side, in blue, is the skill that Pearl Abyss is suggesting you start with. And then it changes into the skill on the right, and that's a choice for you in gray. So let's look at Aqua Gel Explosion for an example. If you press that to do it, then you have a choice of doing Overdrive, Calamity, or Parting Waves as your next skill, and that is a skill combo from Aqua Gel to the next skill. Now, I've taken a moment to look to see what I could do for the most combos you can get from this list, and I have two things: 4 skill combo and an infinity, and there's 2 of them. The 4 skill combo starts with Ride the Waves. You do that first, and then you go to Aqua Gel Explosion. And once you do Aqua Gel Explosion, you look on the left hand side and you go to Overdrive. That is the third one in the skills. And then from Overdrive, we have a choice of Calamity or Aqua Gel Explosion. But to finish it out as a 4-hit combo, you end it with Calamity. So there is your 4 skills right there. But as you can see, there's so many options for infinite combo. Like, let's just go with the easy one. Aqua Gel Explosion to Overdrive. And you're on Overdrive. And now you can go back to Aqua Gel Explosion and do those 2 skills infinitely at your pleasure or discretion. So there's that. There is Parting Waves. Aqua Gel Explosion to Parting Waves. And look, you can go back to Aqua Gel Explosion and do those 2 skills as much as you like. And this is what I was talking about. There is this in here. So don't feel like, well, there's not much here. They just made it simple for you to enjoy. So take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next slide, which is the enhancement slide. Here we go. And welcome. There is a lot to cover on the enhancement slide, so let me go ahead and start with the basics. If you are new to my enhancement slide, here is the interface. On the left hand side is all of his skills. On the far right hand side is all the branch damage connected to those skills. And then in the center I put 4 columns. The first column from left to right, the first column, second and fourth, I try to have things that benefit your Igneous. The third column are things that affect the opponent you are fighting or the creature you're battling. So that is the general layout. And with that, I want to tell you about the heal that is under overdrive. If you look there and go all the way over to the right, your heal, when you unlock it, will work everywhere in the game except Path of Glory. So I didn't color it, sorry about that, but just want you to have a heads up that you really want to unlock that one first so that you can have a heal whenever you use overdrive. It's great. Now you may be asking yourself, well, what are enhancements and what am I looking for? So when you're playing the game and you're in the world of Elion or Hadum, there's going to be these books that drop, and they're skill books. So they're random. There's no specific place you go to get a specific book. It just happens. It's random. So when you get them, you pay silver to learn it, and it increases your skill level with that skill. So let's take Calamity, for example. You are at level 1, you get a skill book, you learn it, now you're at level 2. Now when you are on the skills screen and you tap on Calamity and look to the left, there'll be these little circles surrounding the skill of Calamity. Those are enhancements to it. And you'll have Blaze Zone, you'll have a Burn, 60 damage at 1 second for 3 seconds, and you'll also have a plus 20 to your attack CP for 10 seconds on hit. But some of them have a level requirement before you could pay silver and unlock it. You'll see this because there's a red number next to it that indicates the level you need to reach before you're able to unlock it. So you play the game, you go as far as you can the storyline, you collect these books, and you pay the silver to raise their levels, and over time you will get all of your skills and all of the enhancements unlocked, and you want everything to be level 10. So if all of your skills are up to level 10, I can guarantee you that you will have all of your enhancements unlocked, unless you're really hurting for silver, which I seriously doubt it. But that is the goal. You want all of this unlocked so you can customize your Igneous and make him exactly what you want him to be. And just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, we noticed that in the passive that he has a movement speed decrease when you can affect your opponent with it. And I told you that you should use memory imprints to bring the percentage that you decrease your opponent's speed up higher to from 15% maybe to 20-25. Well, look at your enhancements. Under Water Orb in the middle and go over to the right. Target move speed minus 5% for 10 seconds. Well, before doing anything and using your passive and unlocking that, that's 20% right there. So this is what I'm talking about. If you wanted to, you could specialize in reducing your opponent's speed greatly, and they will wonder what the heck is going on. So this is how enhancements work. You want them all unlocked so you can figure out what you like to make playing Igneous your own. So that is everything for here, and just take a moment to look at all the enhancements, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next slide, which is called the player card slide. Here we go. And welcome. The player card is like a baseball card. It is all the slides you previously saw, all put together on one slide for you to print out and enjoy or see on another screen. And I always say this, once again, if you decide to print it out, please be kind. That's a lot of color, and well, if it's your printer, be my guest. So let's go ahead and describe what you're looking at. At the very top is a top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend. And to the right of that is something new. It's called Immobilization. Anytime one of your skills knocks a creature or opponent down, up in the air, freezes them, stuns, anything that immobilizes them for a few seconds so you can get in a few hits is the reason why this is listed here. And there's more explanation on why that is, but let's look at it. If you have an immobilization, it's in green, and to the right of that is how many do you have. Let's take Aqua Jail Explosion for the example. If you look down below on skills and you look all the way over to the right and under specials and just read it with me, you have super armor, and daze on first hit is an immobilization, and knockdown on last hit is another immobilization. So there is your 2 right there, and that is why it's listed like that in the corner. So looking at Igneous, I see that they given him 4 skills that have 2 immobilizations, and this is great. It's one of his strengths, is the ability to get an immobilization in and really turn the tide of a battle. So you already know how the skills work and the passive, and you already know how the enhancements work. It's we just covered it. So below that is the legend for what is not applied in Path of Glory and what's not applied in Arena. Technically, the heal in Overdrive is not applied in Path of Glory, but everywhere else in the game it is. And if you've been wondering, what is forward guard and super armor? You keep talking about it throughout this video. The definitions are at the bottom. Forward guard means that incoming damage will either be 0 or heavily reduced. And you have a forward guard with your skill called Blade of Destruction, and it coincidentally is your highest damaging skill. So the way that works is, imagine a shield in front of you that's invisible, and your opponent is in front of you, hitting you directly on. What's going to happen is the damage they do will either be 0 damage or, again, heavily reduced. But if they get behind you, or behind you and to the right and left, the damage they do to you is normal. So it only applies when it's in front, maybe a little off to the right or left, but that's how forward guard works. Super armor. This means that damage will be reduced, and the effects that immobilize you, like stun, knockdown, freeze, etc., will not happen for a duration of time. Now we do have icons to indicate whether super armor is active or not, if you're looking out for that sort of thing, but if it's just too much to try to keep track of, it's really tough to know when your opponent's super armor will not be active. So this is a reason why you want to hit your opponent or the creature you're fighting with as many immobilization skills as possible. So we're talking Aqua Jail Explosion, Overdrive, Water Orb, and Water Torrent. You want to get these skills in so you have a high percentage chance that you'll knock your opponent down, and that can really be a favorable outcome for you when it comes to fighting somebody else. And of course, take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready, I have a gameplay video to show you so you can see what Igneous can do. Here we go. And welcome. So, Before we get started, let us show you where we're at. We're over here in Balanos, and we are at Kron Castle entrance, and we're here because, well, we love it here. We're always here. Their CP is 2,500 and something, and ours is a little 10,000. Yeah, he'll be fine. So the way this works is we use this shortcut here, or auto path, excuse me, and he will fight for 2 minutes, maybe 3, at which time we will go to town, I'll give my outro and say thank you. So, without further ado, I am pleased to present to you Igneous. Here we go. And it's just about time for us to head back to town. Maybe get a few more hits in. Truly awesome. There we go. So, while this is all loading up, allow me to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, let people know I am always making more videos, and there are so many more videos left to do. So what we do here is we put Igneous in a nice little pose with the background, and we check out a few things. Let's see what he does with his wave. Nope, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Well, that's interesting. Oh, very cool. And how about his clap? That's a hearty clap. Look at that. So let's do it a few more times, and once again, let me say thank you. Thank you very much for enjoying this video, and you have a great day. Take care. Bye now.